A couple days ago, I read a beautiful quote that has impacted me deeply. It said, "The greatest sign of a strong woman is in her gentleness." The greatest sign of a strong woman is in her gentleness. Wow, how I long to be that strong woman. I try, but many days I fall short of that, and I'm sure you do too. And that's okay. We get up and we try again. Having said that, it's important for you and I to remember that the fruits of the Spirit, or let me rather say the attributes of the fruit of the Spirit, are not acquired, achieved, or produced by us in our own strength. And I think that is why so many of us keep falling short so often. Now, let me just quickly explain. My husband has been doing a powerful teaching series on the Holy Spirit, and he explained this past Sunday that the fruit of the Spirit we read about in Galatians 5 is a singular fruit. The fruit of the Spirit is love. Loving like Jesus. No prejudice, no prerequisites, just pure love like Jesus. The outcast, the one who tells lies about me, the one who does harm to me, the one who speaks about me behind my back, the one who has hurt me, even my enemy, just love like Jesus. That's the fruit of the Spirit. You and I both know that that is absolutely not possible without the Holy Spirit doing His work in our hearts. So the fruit is a singular fruit called love. But this love has 8 other attributes. And these are what I am referring to as the multiple fruits. And today we are talking about gentleness. So gentleness is not a fruit that stands alone. Gentleness is a fruit, an attribute of the fruit of the Spirit, which is produced and cannot be produced outside of the root fruit called love. And it cannot be obtained in our character without it growing out of the Holy Spirit, the fruit of love. I know that that will make sense to you. Just let me continue. Galatians 6 verse 1 says, "If anyone is caught in a trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness." Godly forgiveness is only possible with gentleness, and gentleness is only possible when it is produced out of love. Now it makes sense, right? Now, this is impossible without God's Spirit. God never meant for us to be able to exhibit gentleness apart from Him. And in Romans 8 verse 29 verse 30, we read this. God knew, this is a beautiful passage, listen. God knew what He was doing from the very beginning. He decided from the outset to shape the lives of those who love Him along the same lines as the life of His Son. The Son stands first in the line of humanity He restored. We see the original and intended shape of our lives there in Him. After God made that decision of what His children should be like, He followed it up by calling people by name. After He called them by name, He set them on a solid basis with Himself. And then, after getting them established, He stayed with them to the end, gloriously completing what He had begun. I read that out of the Message. So beautiful. You and I have been created to be in relationship with God. And through the Holy Spirit, God's purpose, if it's for us to become more like Christ. That is the purpose. So being gentle in our character, in our responses, in our approach to people, that is a product of the Holy Spirit's work in us. Why? Why is it important for us to function with gentleness? Well, because it'll not only bring us closer to Him as we reflect more of Him, but it will also show others His loving character. The world needs Jesus, and if we're not going to reflect Him to those around us, who will? Now, for me personally, gentleness doesn't come naturally. I have a pretty loud and passionate personality. So for me, I always admire others who just have this natural gentleness about them. You know people like that. Some people that you just can't imagine them ever raising their voice. I know beautiful women like that, and I find them so lovely to be around. They inspire me. So for me, to ask the Holy Spirit to grow this gentleness in me, I've had to really identify what gentleness looks like. Because if my personality is not naturally, leaning towards being gentle in my approach, then what will gentleness look like in my life? Gentleness that's produced by the Holy Spirit. Now, it's been easier for me to identify what gentleness is not, so I can gain a better understanding of what I'm going after. Here's a few thoughts. Jesus was gentle, but Jesus was not weak. Jesus was gentle, but Jesus was never powerless. Jesus could have said many things that he didn't say. Jesus responded in gentle love when people hated him. He responded with gentle forgiveness when people did him wrong, even at the cross. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. It's Proverbs 15, verse 1. That is powerful. That is not weak. So today, I hope that you and I will pursue this strength. Allow the Holy Spirit to do His mighty work inside of us, grounding us in love and equipping us with gentleness so we can be the powerful, strong women He created us to be and He needs us to be to a lost, broken world. And like the Apostle Paul wrote to the church in Philippi in Philippians 4 verse 5, let our gentleness be known to all men. The Lord is at hand.